All right, we are live. Well, we're not live. I'm recording it and I'm going to upload it later. But welcome to Lady Shar Reacts. I've done a few reactions to some of your music.
You have. I've
Thank
seen
you
all.
for putting. I'm sorry, what was that?
I've seen all of them.
Thank you for putting me on your Instagram stories. That was so cool.
Oh yeah, of course, no problem.
That was awesome. And I also was talking to Jackson Pierce earlier, and I watched some of his reaction to the Interfere album that he was doing, and I just skipped over it because I haven't listened to the whole album yet, and I just skipped to your song. Um, and saw he said you were in the chat. I thought that was really cool.
Yes, it was his birthday yesterday, so I definitely wanted to come and support.
Yeah, I wished him happy birthday on the stream and stuff, but like I said, I didn't stay because I didn't want to spoil any future reactions for tracks on the album.
Yeah.
So how long have you been rapping?
Yeah, so I've been rapping for I mean I'm 22 now. I started when I was 9, so what would that make it, about 13 years ish? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I started young. I wanted to be somebody who was cool, so I asked my stepfather at the time if he could help me write a rap, and he wrote one line for me, and he said, "You can do the rest." And from there, it was kind of history.
That is cool. Do you find the writing part is the hardest, or do you think that the actual making the music is which, or is it all easy to you, just natural?
So for me, it's writing is really easy. It's really easy to write. I don't know why. It just has always come very natural to me. But what's actually hard is recording, because for me, my cadence is super important when I'm recording a song or a free verse or whatever. And so it's hard to perfectly get the same cadence on everything, or if I have to kind of cut in, like if I have to stop and start again, I have to make sure that I match myself so that it sounds clean and you can't even tell that like I cut it, or like I had to stop and take a pause. So that would probably be the hardest and my least favorite aspect, is recording it.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I know nothing about recording music, but I wrote a song a few weeks ago, um, and someone else is recording it for me,
Okay.
and it's just like a thank you to my viewers and subscribers and stuff.
I love it.
Um, but I hope to get that back soon. But they're in the recording process and was showing me how they mapped up segments and stuff, and it was really cool.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
But so the first time I saw you was you did a song with a little known YouTube rapper. Not many people have probably heard of that. And of course, I'm being sarcastic. But I saw your on the map when you were featured with Crypt, and that was 9 months ago.
Yeah, some time ago.
So not even a year.
Right.
And then you did the YouTube Cypher Volume 2, and I was just really blown away with your singing, and and your cadence and flow and everything is just so good. And so I was really blown away. There were several standouts on the YouTube Volume 2, and to me, you were one of them.
Thank you.
And you were probably my two favorites on the YouTube.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, how did you transition from or get Tech's attention? Did he just see you on YouTube? Did you have friends in common or anything like that? How'd you end up hooking up with Tech9? I mean, he's a freaking goat.
Yeah. So, I guess the story of that is actually a story that I kind of tell a lot. I actually met Tech9 before I even met Crypt. So essentially, there's an artist. His name is Maze 301, and
Mm-hmm.
I could even go far as back to tell you the real story of. So I was watching a YouTube video by this guy. I don't even remember. I think his name is Adam something. He's a YouTuber, and what he said was how to get 1,000 followers in how to get 1,000 followers in like 3 months or 90 days. And one of the things that he said to do was to go onto Instagram tags or go onto YouTube tags and just interact with people, talk to people, be a community with people. And so that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And every day I would go and I would kind of go through probably about 100 different posts and interact with them, listen to people's content. And probably about 3 weeks in, I found a guy named Maze 301, and I was like, oh, he's from the DMV, like cool, like he's on like the hashtag rap, and he's on and I saw his cover art and I loved it. I followed him, listened to him for a while, and then about 2 months later, I asked him for a feature, and he said you have to contact my manager. And so I did. Or at first I was like, oh, well, that's probably just him saying he doesn't want to do the feature because that's what a lot of people say to me. And I was like, okay, but
kind of a deal.
I'm sorry.
I said that sounds like something someone says when they're really blowing you off.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to talk to my manager.
And so I do that, but I don't do that on purpose. I really have to tell people to contact my manager because it goes through him completely. But at the time, I thought that's what it was, and it wasn't though. He genuinely did want to do a song. It was just I had to contact his manager, so I did. And when I hit him up, I sent him one of my free verses too. I sent him my Homicide free verse, if you've ever seen that one. And he emails me back about 4 or 5 hours later. It's like I think it's like a Thursday night, and he said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you're dope. Like we can definitely talk about it. His features are this amount, but we can definitely work on something. You say you're from Maryland, or you're from DC. I'm actually gonna be in Silver Spring, Maryland tomorrow with Tech9 for the concert for his because he was on tour when he was on tour." And he was like, "Do you want to come and meet Tech and all that?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, yeah. So, is that even a question?
So I remember I worked a 1 to 10, and then I got in an Uber and got all the way over to Silver Springs, about a 30-minute drive, and I got to come in like when Tech had just started performing, and they put me in the sound stage so I could watch the whole thing, and it was amazing. And then afterwards, I got to go on the tour bus. I got to meet Tech, get a picture with him, and I also got to meet Chris, and I got to meet Muggs, who is my current manager now. And he wasn't at the time though. We had, we didn't really start talking about that until months after. Like I had met Tech and all that kind of stuff, and so that was how I met Tech. I actually didn't meet Tech through Crypt at all. Crypt has helped me through so much. Like, don't ever get me wrong. That's not me saying anything like he didn't help me. But I had actually met Tech, and had possibly had the song starting to get ready, back then before I had even met Crypt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It takes that long just to get. So that was over a year ago, right?
It was approximately about 10 months ago. It was all so crazy because I met Tech I think in May. In June, I drove to where Crypt lives to go do the video with him for On the Map. And then maybe about a month later, we did the YouTube Cypher. But the thing about with Tech was that Tech was already finished with his album and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, I had to wait until his next album, which is why it took so long. It took about almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know,
okay.
Patient.
My fans will be mad if I don't ask this. Did you get Mama Crypt's wings?
Did I?
While you were when you were with Crypt, filming On the Map, did you get Mama Crypt's wings?
I sure did. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I've been begging for the recipe.
Oh, really?
But I've heard who they are, so I have been begging for the recipe.
Yeah.
Every time on Twitter, hey Mama Crypt.
Yeah, right. No, so
stands firm.
And with that, and like I always kind of like to take the time out to really thank Crypt, and Mama Crypt is like one of my really good friends. Honestly, we talk, actually me and her talk more than me and Crypt talk. She's just I don't even know what I could say about them, but like the Crypt that you guys see and you see on the YouTube videos and all that is really him in real life. He's such a great person. Family is absolutely amazing. They're so nice and so genuine. It's like that country hospitality sort of thing, and I love it. So like shout out to them for sure. They're really the most genuine people on the planet.
That's what everyone that I know that's worked with has said, that he is just the same person, just humble, down to earth, treat you like family when you're there.
Yep.
Just an awesome dude.
Exactly. No, that's it. And I definitely plan to make more music with him for sure. I know he's a really busy guy, especially, you know, with everything that's going on with his stuff. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to work again. But he's always somebody who's kind of like in the back of my mind too.
Yeah, with all this craziness going on in the world right now, everyone's in quarantine and all of that, do you know artists are making more music in their house, and a lot of artists are spending the time, you know, interacting with their fans and stuff? Are you working on anything special while you're quarantined, or are you going out of your head? What's going on with that?
I definitely can say that I have been writing a lot. For me, I'm excited to really formulate ideas for how I want my first album to be. I've never dropped an album before, and when I do drop an album, I want it to be kind of like a classic. And so I haven't necessarily been just coming out with songs, but I've definitely been coming out with ideas, and ideas for music videos, and ideas for, you know, different concepts and all that kind of stuff. A lot of things that I want to talk about on my first album, kind of about myself, and going into the deeper aspects, because a lot of people just know me for the bars. They know me for the, you know, the spitting and the free verses. You know, I've been called a lot the bedroom rapper, but a lot of people I want a lot of people to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Shocked maybe when they hear that I have more to offer than just, you know, bars and stuff, that I can actually talk about more serious things. So that's something that I just been focusing on in this time where I have time to do that.
So you're looking to produce something more lyrical, content heavy, instead of just the bar.
Right.
Kind of like what Eminem did with his last album, like Royce with his Ryan, which I thought was an amazing album, just telling his story. Very cohesive from beginning to end of the album. I know that you look at Tech a lot, you put it in your song album, your American Idol. on Question Artists.
Yeah.
And what other rappers have influenced you throughout your career? What rappers do you look up to or any artists?
Yeah. So, the a lot of people don't know this, but one of the biggest influences on me as a musician is actually Kurt Cobain in the band Nirvana. Um, I studied a lot of his stuff when I was a sophomore in high school, and just also as far as like um, the way that he would perform. Another weird person that or weird group that a lot of people wouldn't think I would listen to or be influenced by is Slipknot. I've watched like thousands of hours of them performing because I think that their performances are fantastic, and that's how I would want to interact with my fans. Um, and so I would say, kind of out of the range of hip hop, yeah, like I said, Nirvana was big. Slipknot was big. I tend to listen mostly to R&B, like '90s R&B. So things like specifically Timbaland and his side, with like the Bassman and Devontae Swings and all that kind of stuff. But rappers, I was influenced obviously Tech. Eminem was one of the first people who got me into kind of like the more lyrical rap. Um, the person who made me start rapping, though, which a lot of people don't know either, is actually Rakim. Is the first person who I really listened to that I was like, I want to rap like that when I was 9. And then it went to M, and then it went to Tech for a second, went to Hobson for a long time, back to Tech, and now I'm pretty influenced right now. I'd say by like Joyner Lucas and Logic, and yeah, that's probably it. Another thing too that people don't think of when they think of me, this is gonna throw a lot of people off, but I'm actually really heavily influenced by Lil Pump and Smoke Perp because they make music as far as like really hype music that gets the crowd going, and that's what I want to do. So anytime like I used to would rap, I would put on beats like theirs where it's like heavy, really distorted bass, or subs and all that kind of stuff, and I would just try to spit over it. So that was kind of what I wanted to do, was be able to spit over like these hard beats that you would be able to hear on the radio.
Yeah, which that's great because it seems like that those beats are the only ones that they want to play on the radio. But I live in Oklahoma, so I don't have a huge um, hip hop station that I can listen to. So I'm on YouTube and Spotify
Right.
constantly,
Uh-huh.
and I I actually started my channel because there were so many talented YouTube rappers
Hmm.
that I wanted to share their music with other people that didn't know about them.
Right.
So I try to keep my channel about 70% independent YouTube artists, and then cover enough mainstream artists to get more viewers
Right.
and stuff. But I love all types of music, not not just rap, but rap is probably my favorite,
Yeah.
if not my second favorite. I I live in Oklahoma, so I listen to country music too. And people are always like, country and rap, that really doesn't go together. But
Well,
I think they do.
call it excuse me if I'm wrong with this, like hip hop or something like that,
Um,
hillbilly hop or something like that. I know Crypt did a song basically kind of talking about it once. I don't remember exactly though.
I do listen to that too.
Yeah.
I listen to traditional country and I listen to some of the country rap.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a big fan of Jelly Roll.
Yeah, a lot of people. I've seen him. He's definitely a great artist too. Mama Crypt actually put me onto him. So
Yeah, him and a guy named Struggle Jennings do have albums together and do a lot of music together. I really like them, and but are you familiar with Hunter Kufis or Kufi?
Koofies, yeah, I've heard of him. I've talked to him actually too, and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, as the first time I heard him, I was like, "You need to team up with Lex." You
Yeah,
guys would be fire on a track.
yeah, I think so too. We've been talking about it. So right now I'm kind of focused on doing like more solo stuff. But when I have
Mhm.
the ability to do more collaborations, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anyone else on the YouTube scene that you've seen that you've just really been impressed by, or anyone you're looking at coming up that
Yeah, that's a great question. I honest to goodness like so people are gonna be upset with me, but I don't spend that much time on YouTube like that. Um, I and not even because like I would for whatever reason I think that I would take the name of a YouTube rapper, all that kind of stuff, but I don't spend my time there, especially with all the stuff that's going on. So I haven't really been doing a good job at keeping up. But from what I remember specifically from like the YouTube cipher was DK is one of the artists is an artist I would love to work with, and
mhm.
and the Real Chase. Those are probably my top two right now. Oh, and actually, and Dizzy 8 too. Dizzy 8 for sure.
Oh, Dizzy A is so all of them are talented. I've reacted to actually, yeah, Shay too. I've reacted to all of them at some point on my channel, and Dizzy A always blows me away.
Yeah.
Um, he's just amazing. So, did you see any of the Poppin' Challenge?
I just saw Crips, and I saw
You just saw that?
Dizzy's. I didn't see anybody else's.
Yeah, they. I just watched the video where Crypt won
Yeah.
the Poppin' Challenge, and I watched his reaction to that. That was really dope that he won that, especially with his past with KSI.
Right.
Um, check this. So, are there any female rappers that you mess with?
Oh, absolutely. Honest to goodness, like seriously, I tend to only listen to female rappers. My favorites are it's gonna obviously I gotta put Snow up there. Snow the product is amazing. She's someone who I would love to work with down the line. I think I have something in my hair.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, right.
Love to see that.
um, a couple other ones would number one be Lady Leisure. She's holding it down up in the UK. She's absolutely amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got to look her up. She's fantastic. She's probably one of my top. Another female artist that I listen to a lot is D Trinata. She I actually have a song with her. Probably have seen it. I would work with her again. She's fantastic. She's holding it down in Baltimore. And then I would say Rico Nasty, another DMV artist, someone who I would love to make music with. And right now, that's probably my list. That would be my list. I'm a fan of other artists too, but as far as who I would really want to work with right now in the stage of my life, probably all of them.
That's dope. That's dope because I'm a huge the product fan too.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a lot of animosity and from the outside looking in the female rap lane.
Oh, of course. I think there always will be until we start to kind of change the dynamic and change how it looks. Because right now it's kind of like hip hop is a male dominated field. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my entire, if you go and you look at my analytics on my Instagram, my YouTube, whatever, and you look at my male to female ratio, 80% of my fans are men. And
Right.
what it is uh, so it gives it a little, there's only a such a small alleyway for women to be able to shine, especially because when you have men listening to the music, there's only so much they want to hear about, some of the things that are kind of talked about in mainstream, female rap music, which is, sex and I'm beautiful and everybody wants to have sex with me and all that kind of stuff. And not, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think though that it leaves you with a lot smaller ability to move up if you can only talk about that, because like I said, there's only so much that they want to hear from that. And so I
Right.
think that once we change that dynamic and we can actually have more women who have bars and more women who are really coming heavy with, concepts and ideas, and really talking a lot about things other than those things, which, like I said, I have no issue with. I bump it. I love Meg The Stallion. I love me some Cardi B. I love all of them. Um, but I think to change the mindset that we have where it's such a male dominated field and it's like only a select few of female artists get to be in the spotlight, we got to start with kind of making sure that we're popularizing, if that's a word, the really talented female artists.
I agree. I actually on my notes, um, I wrote down, do you think female rapper will ever go away as a subgenre of rap
Yeah.
to just be rappers? So you're not in such a narrow lane that you guys can share the spotlight and not have the pettiness and stuff that seems to go on behind the scenes a lot,
Hmm.
um, in the female, which I'm assuming it goes on in the male side too,
Right.
because male rappers are not above pettiness any more than female rappers. It just seems that it gets brought to light more on the female side.
Right.
And I'd love to see the label of female rapper go away and just be a rapper.
Yeah, from, you can ask, like, a lot of my fans know this, and I talk about it a lot when I get on my Instagram live and all that kind of stuff. It's super important to me that I want to get to a point where people aren't saying you're my favorite, you're my favorite female rapper, or you're my top favorite female rappers, to just you're one of my favorite rappers, you're one of my favorite artists. And I tell them a lot, like, don't call me, female rapper. So my fans are starting to understand, like, I don't like that and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually kind of like a double-edged sword in a sense, because it's like, being that I am a female rapper and I do have bars, it's like I'm more of an anomaly, and it's a win-lose, like, for either situation. It's like either I'm just a rapper and it's like, okay, my bars are pretty good, but whatever, there are other rappers who have similar bars or have just as good bars as me, or I'm a female rapper who, whoa, she's the first female rapper I've ever heard to really, like, talk about this and talk about that and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, it sucks because it's like I still, like, I don't know how to balance that, basically.
Right. If there wasn't a negative connotation attached
Right.
to being a female rapper, it would be fine to be called a female rapper.
Right. Exactly.
Because are. But it's just that so many people take that as, well, she's a female rapper, I'm not even going to listen
Right.
to see what she's got.
Right.
And I hate that. I hate that. And that's one of the things I'm going to be able to do is on my channel highlight some female rappers that can out rap 90% of the guys out there that are rapping or, whatever. And you and Snow are my two of my favorite rappers, not my female rappers, but my favorite rappers.
I love it. Thank you.
And I'm so excited when you perform a song because you have such great energy. You bring bars, your flow is impeccable, and it just gets me hype,
Yes.
And I love it because there's a lot of songs that I can listen to that don't get me hype and in a way feel proud of what you're doing because you're breaking new ground. I know there have been others before you.
Right.
I mean, but it's different than it used to be. There used to be a lot more singing and stuff in the female side of the hip hop genre.
Right.
And you didn't hear a lot of bars.
Right.
And I think you're just so innovative, and I just love listening to you. So I told you I was gonna fangirl out a little bit.
That's okay. I appreciate it. And yeah.
Okay. So Interfere is the name of the album you're on with Lex. And the song is ?this.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, is it Kaliko or Kaliko?
I think it.
How do you pronounce?
Chris Kaliko.
Kaliko. Okay. And he sings on it a little. His beautiful voice too. How was it? Did you guys record together or separate? Like, I know you didn't. Like, were you guys all in the studio together?
No.
Or did you do your verse?
Yeah.
And send it to them? How does that work?
Yeah. So essentially, what happened was, basically Tech sent me the song. He sent me the song and he called me and was like, "Hey, do you like it? Would you get on it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, like, of course." And essentially, I remember exactly, like, vividly. He sent it to me. It was probably like maybe 11 a.m. in the morning. I was at work, and when I got home at 6:30, 6:45 ish, and I just sat down. I turned my phone off and I wrote to it for 3 hours, and it took me about 3 hours to write the whole verse. Because I like to rewrite it and rework things in it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And after
maybe move a syllable here and there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So after that, I was ready to record it that night, but I didn't want to record it at my house. I wanted to go to the studio, so I actually went to a studio that I go to frequently. It's the Furnace Furnace Entertainment. You'll probably hear that more frequently within my realm of things. And I recorded it on Sunday, so I got it on Thursday, recorded it Sunday, sent it back Sunday, and then I think Chris, put the hook on it a couple weeks later, and then after that it was done. So I didn't see them. I only talked to Tech. I haven't even talked to Chris since I met him back a year ago. But yeah, that was kind of how the process was.
All right, so I saw that Jackson gave it a 10 out of 10 on his live stream, and I totally agreed with him. I can't wait until people start doing reactions to it, and it gets more plays on YouTube because it, like I said, I haven't listened to the whole album.
Right.
I've listened to Outdone,
Mm-hmm.
and I've listened to your track, and that's all I've listened to. I've avoided the reactions and everything.
Yep.
And when I listened to your track, I recorded my reaction so that I would have, because I needed to listen to it before the interview,
Right.
because it would be crazy to come get you to come to an interview and not even listen to your latest track. But I was like, I don't want to listen to it and not have a reaction, for it. So I went ahead and recorded my reaction, and I haven't told anyone about this interview yet. So as soon as we're done, I'm gonna start promoting it like crazy,
Okay.
because I was like so nervous that something would come up and you wouldn't get to make it, or something would go wrong with the recording, technical difficulties, and then I would have out there that I had this interview and I wouldn't have it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this a secret, and as soon as I'm done uploading it, I'm gonna start promoting the crap out of it, and probably premiere it hopefully tonight.
Okay.
And then I already have a reaction uploaded ready to go after that.
Very cool.
And I don't have very many subscribers yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm around, I think around 600.
That's amazing.
So, but I do have pretty loyal subscribers, and a lot of YouTube artists that I talked to, because I did kind of like you did. I went in a lot of live streams, a lot of chats, did a lot of, just getting to know people and everything. And am I getting feedback? Yeah. And so I did just a lot of getting to know people. So the are mostly artists and other reactors. And for some reason, a bunch of people for Paul. I have probably more followers from Nepal than I do from America.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy. But that's another story.
Right.
Now, you said you started rapping when you were 9. Do you come from a musical family?
I don't, actually. There's not really anyone in my family who does music. I think my aunt used to sing, but that was about it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're unique even in your own family as far as being a musician. Because I know a lot of.
I know.
There, Lex?
Sorry, cut off.
Oh, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, I saw it cut off.
Yeah. But anyway, so what I was saying is, a lot of artists come from a musical family, and that's how they get into music is, maybe one of their parents play an instrument or someone sings, and something like. Did you have any training or anything, or you're completely self-taught?
So and it cut off again, but I heard the last bit of that question. I'm completely self-taught. Yeah, just going and learning from my favorite artists, and trying to basically rap like them, and then from there take my own style, and that's kind of how I taught myself.
That is so amazing. Now we're coming up on, we just passed 40 minutes, and I know I told you about 30. So if you need to go, I want to thank you again for, letting me interview you for my channel, and it's just a huge honor to get to meet you.
Well, hopefully we'll get to meet in person at some point.
That would be so great. If you are ever near Oklahoma for a concert, even Kansas City is not too far from me. It's about a 5-hour drive, and I have a good friend in Kansas City. So
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll definitely link up at some point, and we can do an in-person interview.
that would be awesome. That would be great.
Very cool.
I appreciate your time so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, and good luck with everything.
Thanks, Lex. You too. I'll be rooting for you,
Thank you.
and I'll catch you later.
I'll make sure that I post our interview and post everything too on my page.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. All right. That was the interview with Lex Bratcher, and I'll have all the links in the description with her socials and everything. If you guys aren't familiar with Lex, check out her music. Check out her track with text. It is straight fire. Um, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.